Thank you for listening to the show on Really Big Something Channel. September 26th, 2017.
105 here on the great WRKO. Okay, you're not going to believe it. Later this hour, Democrats, I swear to you, now say Trump should be impeached. Yes, impeached, because he called the kneelers SOBs. We're going to have that, so much more. First, the Kuhner Country poll question of the day. Brittany, what is the poll question? What are the results thus far?
Did Alejandro Villanueva let his teammates down? If you believe the answer is yes, text 8 to 680 680. If you believe the answer is no, text B to 680 680, or go to WRKO.com and vote there. And as always, the poll question is sponsored by Bill Kelly Financial Services.
No.
Well, 98% of the audience is with you, Jeff, and 2% say yes, he did let his teammates down.
617-266-6868. Okay, I want to dive into the phone lines. We've got full lines. Let me throw one quick log, and then let's go. Stadiums. Many of these players play in football stadiums that you and I have paid for. Here's another major fact that the mainstream media doesn't want you to know about. So, for example, since 1997, basically for the last 20 years, there have been 20 new football stadiums that have been built. Do you know how much they've received, these teams and these stadiums, these football teams, in direct federal taxpayer subsidies? $1.1 billion. $1.1 billion. If you add all of the money that's gone in, not just to building new stadiums, but to modernizing stadiums, renovating stadiums, et cetera, again, through federal money, taxpayer subsidies, it is over $7 billion. Not with an M, with a B. $7 billion. So, my friends, I want you to think about what's going on here. You have multimillionaire thugs in the National Felons League who are protesting the national anthem while we, the taxpayers, are subsidizing the NFL. We are subsidizing the stadiums. We are subsidizing where they play. The owners get paid. They get rich off of this. The players get rich off of this. You and I have to pay $500 just to see a Patriots game, and they still take our tax money. Everybody gets paid. Everybody benefits except you and me. There's an old saying, don't bite the hand that feeds you. They're now not just biting our hand, they're chewing our entire arm. And that's why from this point on, no more public money, no more subsidies, no more taxpayer dollars, not a dime, a ruble, a shekel should go for any stadium. If this is how the NFL wants to play it, no problem. Do it on your own dime, not on ours. 617-266-6868. Eddie in Quincy. Go ahead, Eddie.
Jeff, 3 quick points, Jeff.
Yes.
They're all upset because Trump put football into politics, and they could have nipped this 2 years ago when Colin Kaepernick took his knee and actually put politics into football. And number 2, I wonder all these scholars that knelt for the American anthem and stood for the British anthem in Wembley Stadium. I wonder if they know the British ships brought most of the slaves to this country. And number 3, Villanueva, I think Trump ought to give him the Medal of Freedom, but maybe he was standing for the guys he buried over there that couldn't stand any longer.
Eddie, very good, all 3 of them. I think you hit the nail right on the head. No, to me, I'll tell you what's very sad. What's very sad is you can see it on his face. You can see what they forced him to apologize. They browbeat him. They gave him an earful. They took him to the woodshed. Roethlisberger's enraged. Tomlin's enraged. The Steelers are all enraged. Why? Because he's the only one that comes out smelling like a rose. And instead of saying we were wrong and he was right, they're now having him essentially walk the plank and humiliate him. I mean, that was a humiliating press conference. I mean, it was almost, let's play it again, Brittany, okay? It was almost like him doing penance. If you're a Catholic, you know, the sin is mine and mine alone, right? The fault is mine and mine alone. I humiliated Tomlin. The fault is mine and mine alone. I humiliated my teammates. The fault is mine and mine alone. I mean, he's prostrating himself.
I've made Coach Tomlin look bad, and that is my fault, and that is my fault only. I've made my teammates look bad, and that is my fault only. And I made the Steelers also look bad, and that is my fault and my fault only. So unwillingly, I've made a mistake. So, I've talked to my teammates about the situation. Hopefully they understand it. If they don't, I still have to live with it because the nature of this debate is causing a lot of very heated reactions from fans, from players, and it's undeserving to all the players and coaches from this organization.
When these guys beat their wives or girlfriends, they don't apologize like that. I swear to you. Aaron Hernandez, when he murdered Odin Lloyd, he didn't even apologize. He said he was innocent, for God's sakes. When they murder people, they don't apologize like this. I'm like, Tomlin looked bad. You didn't make him look bad. They look bad. Not for what you did, for what they did. He's got nothing to apologize. I mean, literally, it's the opposite. You see, what you're seeing now is groupthink, conformity. And he was the one that actually broke away. He was the true individual in all this. He's the one that said, no, I buried my friends in Afghanistan. I fought and almost died for this country. I will stand up and salute it. I will salute its flag and its anthem. He's the Captain America in all of this. He's the hero. And I'm looking at this, I'm like, apologize for what? I'm sorry, it's a disgrace. It's a complete and utter disgrace. 617-266-6868. Glenn on the 495. Go ahead, Glenn.
How you doing?
Hey, Glenn.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
You are hands down the best in talk radio, Jeff.
Thank you, Glenn. Thank you.
The NFL, I don't think they realize what they're doing right now. They need to take a step back here because a person like me who's never going to watch football again, you got to vote with your wallet. You got to shut off the cable. You got to stop buying the hats and shirts, which is half my wardrobe, Patriot stuff. And you got to voice your opinion that way because it's going to hurt them. It's going to hurt them in the long run.
Glenn, we've got to do it. Look, I agree with you. We've got to teach the NFL a lesson. And, I just want to say this, and I'm not talking now about EEI. I'm not. I think they have some really good sports shows. Kirk and Callahan, I think they're phenomenal. I like Glenn Ordway. He's a good friend of mine. And if I don't mention others, it's not because I'm picking on them. I just don't know them as well as those three. But that station let me just say across the street, let me just put it to you that way. That afternoon drive show is a freaking embarrassment. It's an embarrassment. And so just for the hell of it, I was listening to it for like 10 minutes yesterday. And, in between them talking about, I swear, their obsession with MILF porn, and one guy's even into grandma porn. Like this guy talks about having sex with 70-year-old women. Okay? So in between the porn talk, these losers, there they are, they're like, this was all a backlash against Trump. Trump had it coming. How dare Trump call them SOBs? How dare Trump actually say that about these people who kneel? It's their constitutional right. He should be protecting their constitutional freedoms to kneel. And I'm looking at them and I'm saying, hold on, I have a constitutional right to cheat on my wife. Really, look, if Kuhner wants to engage in crazy orgies, it's my constitutional right. It's not the president's job to defend that. It's not the president's job to represent disrespectful behavior to the flag, to the anthem, to the country, and to the people which it stands for. If he's not there to defend the flag and to defend the national anthem, What the hell is the commander-in-chief there for? Now, when Obama was lecturing the Washington Redskins how they needed to change their names, did I see these guys at the across the street? Oh, the president's got to watch himself. Oh, he shouldn't be getting involved in football. Oh, no, they loved it. So let me ask the Moonbats all this, okay? Let me ask them a very basic question. When conservatives were leading the resistance to Barack Hussein Obama, did we kneel? Did we disrespect the flag? Did we protest the national anthem? Did we urge players to protest the national anthem? Or did we say this is the greatest country in the history of the world? We may not like our government. We may be opposed to the government, but the country, the republic, that we love now and forever. What these guys on the left are now doing is they are now saying, let's take Black Lives Matter, let's put it now on the field. We want it in the NFL. And you'll see, I'll get to this a bit later, they want it now in the NBA, and it's coming to the NBA. In other words, we want now to take over the media, popular culture, academia, and now professional sports itself. Any vehicle, any institution that we can hijack as part of the resistance to Trump, let's do it. Well, I've got news for you. Just because you make millions and millions and gazillions of dollars, I didn't listen. With all due respect, Ben Roethlisberger is not a politician. Mike Tomlin is not a politician. All these idiots now that are shooting their... Roger Goodell is not a politician. Now, you guys feel that strongly about police brutality or whatever it is you guys are... That's the other thing. You ask them, what are you so upset about? They don't know. I mean, that's the other thing. No, really, is there a cop shooting in particular that you're upset about? Is there something... Well, Colin Kaepernick hasn't been hired. He sucks. So he can't... I can throw a freaking football better than he can. He sucks, and he's a completely divisive figure in the locker room. You're insane if you hire this guy as a quarterback. So what, he can kneel and with his radical Muslim girlfriend and kneel and kneel and kneel? That's what you need a guy for, to pay him $1 million a game so he can sit on his rear end and do nothing? Well, they've turned him into a progressive martyr. And so now I guess that's what they're protesting. So let me get this straight now. The owners don't have a right to decide who should be on their team and who should not be on their team. Like, this is insanity through and through. So I'll tell you what it is. You don't want to accept the results of the election. You want to use football as a means to protest. Go ahead. Buddy, it's a free country. But I'll tell you what's going to happen. You're going to go the way of ESPN. So keep it up. Just keep it up with your resistance, because you're all going to go bankrupt. Joe in the car. Go ahead, Joe.
Hey, Jeff. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm very good. Jeff, look, I just want to make it's kind of an observation. Maybe you can help me out with this. So the whole reason, though, this whole kneeling thing is everybody's protesting Black Lives Matter and racism and all this, right? So this is what they're all up in arms about. Now, wasn't it not that long ago that not only did they get rid of another flag for the same purposes and the same principles, the Confederate flag was taken down from everywhere, taking statues down, we're doing all this. Now, the Confederate flag represented the Confederacy. Now, the Confederacy was one half of the Civil War. The other half was the Union.
Yes.
Well, what was the Union flag?
The American flag.
Which basically beat the racist flag of the Confederacy. So why are they now upset with this American flag if that's the one that actually saved them from slavery and such? Do you see where I'm going with that?
Joe, you're brilliant. Now, and let me give you your answer, because it's a brilliant question. Because you know what flag they really want, in all honesty? The hammer and sickle.
I was going to say, it's got to be red, isn't it?
That's what it is. So I'll tell you what Black Lives Matter is in a nutshell. It's a black Marxist group.
Absolutely.
It's a revolutionary black Marxist group. And that's their intention. They want to overthrow the government. That's been their intention from the beginning, use all kinds of violence. And so now what they're trying to do is they're trying to paint anybody who voted for Trump as a white supremacist and a neo-Nazi. And if that means getting football players and co-opting the NFL and Roger Goodell, and that, go ahead. Now, what the NFL doesn't realize is they're making now an alliance, a bargain with the devil. Because the thing about these left-wingers, they may love them today because they're all bashing Trump, but they want flag football. I'm telling you, make no mistake about it. These moonbats, these liberals, they don't like the tackling. They don't like the hitting. They don't like the concussions. They don't like any of that. So you see, the ultimate goal is to ban the national anthem. That's what's really, you want to know the ultimate goal here is to say, it's so divisive and everybody's protesting and let's just not play the national anthem at football games, basketball games, baseball games, soon hockey, and nobody plays the national anthem. That's what they ultimately want. And once they get rid of the national anthem, mark my words, they're going to get rid of the NFL. You know who Roger Goodell is? He's what Lenin used to call a useful idiot.
No, it was okay. He came out. He was out of the tunnel because,
like I said, I was looking for 100% participation. We're going to be respectful of our football team.
And they forced the poor guy, Alejandro Villanueva, to apologize. Okay, my friends, 126 here on the great WRKO. You want to know the ultimate meaning of all of this? Is that we are now so divided as a country that we now cannot even have basic consensus or unity on the flag. On the flag. On the national anthem. If we can't agree that we need to respect our flag, our anthem, and our country, honestly, my friends, what can we agree on? You want to know the truth. That's the ultimate truth. That's the cultural watershed of what's going on here. If we can't call out these bums, these multimillionaire thugs in the NFL, if we can't demand basic respect for our flag and our anthem and our country, I mean, the country's then permanently polarized and divided. I mean, if we can't agree on that, what can we agree on? Nothing. Mary on Cape Cod. Go ahead, Mary.
Yes, Mr. Kuhner.
Mary, please call me Jeff. Please.
All right.
I'm not that important, Mary.
No, you are incredibly important.
Okay.
I've listened to you all the time. I have never called a radio station before, but I was so infuriated, I guess is the correct word, in terms of what is happening to Mr. Villanueva that I really felt I had to call.
Go ahead. The floor is yours.
My concern, or what I would just say is a little observation, Dr. Omalu, who really invented or discovered the concept of concussion,
yes,
and what that does in terms of crippling people's brains, causing bouts of rage, people's inability to function, family violence, people having nervous breakdowns, and a lot of people, and people dying from it. Dr. Omalu, his medical examiner's office was within viewing of the Pittsburgh Steelers in the stadium. And what I'm saying about that is when Dr. Omalu started to ruffle the feathers of the NFL, because what happened was, as a medical examiner, Dr. Omalu was when he did the examination of the first of what he felt were the gladiators. He felt that the people, the men in the NFL, were the gladiators of our time. And
so, hold on, Mary, I don't want to rush you, but so when he found brain damage, extensive brain damage from all these concussions, correct me if I'm wrong, but was it not the Steelers organization that tried to cover it up?
Well, not only there was an enormous cover-up, but he got death threats in the middle of the night. They tried to get rid of his boss, Dr. Witchert, who is a nationally known medical examiner. If you remember on court television, Dr. Witchert used to be one of the national consultants to court TV in terms of explaining what was happening.
Mary,
and
sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but my understanding is they're basically mobbed up. Aren't the Rooneys essential, or they have connections to the mob? Is that not true?
Well, I don't know if that is true or not, but what Dr. Witchert said when Dr. Omalu was getting all the threats, and Dr. Omalu had to actually move his family to California.
Incredible.
The federal government wanted to make Dr. Omalu Surgeon General, and he turned them down. All he wanted to do was keep people safe. He did not want to cause he couldn't even understand, like, why would people not want people to not have brain damage? Like, he couldn't really understand because
it's all about the money. Mary, great call. Thank you for that call. It's about the money. And so they tried to cover up the extent of the concussions, the extent of the brain damage that was taking place. And yes, the Rooney family, the Pittsburgh Steelers, were at the forefront of trying to cover this up and intimidate the people who were investigating this. So I guess nothing changes. They went after the good doctor then. Now they're going after this poor patriot, Alejandro Villanueva. That's how the mob works.
WRKL, the voice of Boston.
Okay, my friends, so they're now kneeling, I swear to you, in Congress. In Congress. So now you have the Congressional Black Caucus, led by Mad Maxine Waters and Sheila Jackson Lee, are now saying it is time for Democrats and lawmakers to follow the example of the National Felons League and all of these kneelers, these multimillionaire thugs, and it's time for them to protest the national anthem and the flag in Congress by taking a knee. So listen now to Sheila Jackson Lee, Democrat from Texas, who literally went on the floor of the House of Representatives last night, and, well, she just started to take a knee. Roll it, Brittany.
And so you cannot abridge by standing up with tweets. And you cannot abridge without law and regulation. And there is no regulation that says that these young men cannot stand against the dishonoring of their mothers by you calling them fire the son of a bee. You tell me which of those children's mothers are a son of a bee. That is racism. You cannot deny it. You cannot run for it. And I kneel in honor of them.
You know,
in front of the flag,
there she is.
On this floor.
She's kneeling.
I kneel.
There she is.
In honor of the First Amendment.
There
I
she is.
kneel because the flag is a symbol for freedom.
Yeah.
I kneel because I'm going to stand against racism. I kneel because I will stand with those young men, and I'll stand with our soldiers, and I'll stand with America because I kneel.
Expired.
I mean, look, Sheila, why don't you just take the flag and just take a good dump on it while you're at it? I mean, really. I mean, at this point. I mean, this is... I'm watching her, and I'm like, are you serious? I mean, really. Now, by the way, you know, I've been called an SOB, I swear. I can't tell you how many times. In fact, the libs, all the moonbats do is call me an SOB. I never once, thought it seriously referred to my mother. Okay? I think you just mean I'm a butthole. That's what you're just trying to tell me. That's number one. Number two, I never took it as a racist slur. You know, no, oh, you SOB, you Croatian American, you SOB, you. I mean, so now they're going on how it insulted their mothers, and apparently now, I guess SOB, that's another racist term now. I mean, it just boggles the mind. But it gets worse. Oh, this is just the beginning, my friends. So, Mad Maxine strikes again. Maxine Waters, who many Democrats want to run against Trump, I swear to you, in 2020. This is now Mad Maxine's moment. So she said by calling those players SOBs, not only was it racist, not only is she taking a knee, no, it's time for the dossier. It's time to impeach Trump. That's right. You speak out against the kneelers, it's an impeachable offense. Where's the dossier? Somebody show me the dossier.
And here he is, strongly criticizing, football players and NFL players. Yeah. And so it's clear. We know who he is. He's defined himself. What are we going to do about it? Yeah. I know we're not talking about Russian collusion today, and we're not talking about obstruction of justice, but I hope people understand it's about all of this that he should not be the president of the United States of America, and we got to get ready for impeachment.
And you know what? I'm going to...
You got to impeach him. Listen, hey, he called those players SOBs. And you got that with the dossier, and you've got impeachment. By the way, how come the media won't call her out for having a multi-million-dollar mansion? I mean, I'm just saying, how does a woman, in theory, all she's ever made is a congressional salary? How do you afford a multi-million-dollar mansion? How are you worth more than $12 million? Tell me, Mad Maxine. How come nobody wants to do an audit of your finances? But let that go. But it's not just Mad Maxine. Dossier. The dossier. Listen now to Al Green. Congressman Al Green, Democrat, Texas, Congressional Black Caucus. Now he says he's going to put it to the floor of the House of Representatives, articles of impeachment, because Trump insulted the NFL protesters. Roll it, Brittany.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to say to the world that this is not what America is all about. Calling people SOBs. And we know what a B is. It's a dog. Mr. Speaker, I rise because my heart tells me that I must do something. So, Mr. Speaker,
take a knee.
I denounce the comments that were made, and I rise to announce that on next week, Mr. Speaker, I will bring a privileged resolution before the Congress of the United States of America. I will stand here in the well of the Congress, and I will call for the impeachment of the President of the United States of America.
Wow. Wow. You should take a knee, too, while you're at it, huh? Maybe take a seat on the bench. 617-266-6868 is the number. Remember when he called ISIS losers and the left went crazy? And then when he calls Kim Jong-un Rocket Man, the left goes absolutely ballistic. So now he calls these bums, okay, these losers, these ingrates, a bunch of SOBs, and look at them. It's racist, it's insulting to mothers, and what the hell, it's impeachable. Ay, ay, ay. 617-266-6868. Bruce in Woburn. Go ahead, Bruce. They're out in full force right now, my friend, the Moonbats.
Jeffrey, I turned 60 years old today. I never thought in my life, today's my birthday, that I would hear this kind of bull crap, let alone from that. Was that a senator? He sounded like Al Franken. He went to the same school as Al Franken, same brain. You should hear what I call these people when I'm watching my TV in the privacy of my home. And I stand up and I salute the flag. I take my hat off and I make whoever I'm with, I tell them to get up. But you'll never see this going on in the NHL. You'll never see it going on in NASCAR, Jeff, because those are patriots.
Bruce, very well said. And happy birthday, my friend. No, it's true. That's the other thing. How come NASCAR owners, how come it's not a problem for them to say, guys, you don't stand up for the national anthem, you don't salute the flag, you're gone? How come the NHL, guys, you don't stand and put your hand over your heart during the national anthem, you're gone? So how come those professional teams or those professional leagues can enforce basic codes of conduct and decorum, but the NFL and the NBA can't? It's because they don't want to. Skippy in Southie. Go ahead, Skippy.
Geez, Jeff, what's all this hullabaloo? Everybody's screaming about Donald calling and SOB. I wonder if Obama ever called anybody a mother effer. But we'll let that go. In regards to Alejandro Villanueva, I don't have to say this. Everybody knows he is definitely a living hero, especially with his military record and his service to our country. And he was acknowledged so by getting the Bronze Star. So I'm not disparaging that. In fact, yesterday, when you said he's the hero, I was right with you. When I saw that picture of him putting his hand over his heart with his helmet under his arms, not just sit, but singing the national, that was beautiful. I mean, emotional, really good picture and a good feeling comes over you. But I'll tell you, I think he relinquished that title of hero in regards to that, because you don't do a valorous act like he did by standing out in the crowd and saying, no, I'm doing this for America, and then succumb to pressure. You don't do that, because you can't do a heroic act and then take it back and apologize for it. So he loses that title of hero there, because now he bent for money or whatever the pressure is. All I can say is, I guess everyone can be bought for a price, huh?
Skippy, look, I mean, I don't want to agree with you, but look, I love the guy. I honor and cherish his service. I love these vets. I never want to impugn their motives. But I've seen it happen so many times where they put a lot of pressure on you financially, and people eventually buckle. I mean, I hate to say that, but, you know, and so I think what happened, in fact, I know what happened because I read about it. Sources on this were impeccable. Pittsburgh media has been all over this. Tomlin Tomlin tore his head off. Tomlin went after him. Roethlisberger went after him. The team captains went after him. The ownership went after him. And they said, look, you made us look like a bunch of chumps. You made us look like a bunch of losers out there. Because you're the only guy standing for the national anthem. And we're there all huddled up in the tunnel in the locker room. So as we're boycotting the anthem, you're the only one saluting and standing up for the anthem.
Come on. I mean, honestly, they saw him leave the locker room. No one else wanted to go out there. Well, that's stupid, Jeff. Well, that's the dumbest excuse I've ever heard in my life.
I agree with you. I mean, if you wanted to stand with the guy, you could have stood with the guy. They didn't want to stand with the guy.
Of course.
So they're just going after him because he went out and they didn't. And the backlash from the fans, and now they're angry at him for their behavior.
You know, his teammates let him down. He didn't let his teammates down. They let him down. He's the veteran here. He's the one that fought and had friends that died overseas. So they're the ones that let him down. This isn't the other way around.
No, amen. Well, let me ask you this, though, Brittany, and let me ask the audience this. If the coach is telling you better get out there, and the league is essentially telling you better get out there, or you're never going to play football again, we're going to fire you, and good luck getting a job anywhere else in the NFL. I mean, it's his one shot to make millions of dollars. It's his one shot to give financial security for him. He's got some wonderful kids, a wonderful wife. Do you blame the guy?
I don't necessarily blame him, but
for apologizing?
It's just bad. Just overall, it's absolutely ridiculous. They should have let it go. I don't think he should have apologized. They should just let it go, and he would have been the hero, and that's it. I don't like this coach. I think he's a jerk. What he said was so rude, and to make him go out in front of the press and everything and apologize, and he just looks weak now, and I don't know. I really don't. I just feel bad, and I like I said, I think his team let him down.
I'm with you. Mike Tomlin is pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Would you want to play for a guy like him? Say what you want about Belichick. He's not Mike Tomlin.
Someone else would pick him up anyway. If he got fired from them, if they let him go, someone else would pick him up.
See, I don't know about that. Because the whole league is they're in conspiracy on this one. They're in collusion on this one. Right? The whole league has essentially said, we're going to protest. So this came from Roger Goodell, the owners, to everybody saying, either you kneel
Kuhner,
or you go in the locker room.
If he wants to stand for the national anthem and put his hand over his heart and sing it, he can do that.
No, I'm with
That's
you.
his right.
No, I'm with you.
No, I know, but this is so ridiculous. I mean, for God's sakes, he's a veteran. Why is this a big deal that he did that?
It's disgusting. It's sad. It's disgusting. It makes your stomach turn. Tom in New Jersey. Go ahead, Tom.
Jeff, God bless you for what you do, man. You're amazing.
Oh, thank you, Tom.
You're welcome. Hey, Jeff, they do what they do because this is just the latest in a long, long series of what the left has done to this country, Jeff. And I really applaud you and pray for you for what you're doing to stand up against this. The left has attacked the unborn, Jeff. They've gone against our God and our Judeo-Christian values. They've attacked the sacredness of gender, our schools, our family, our heritage, the Vatican. So now the last piece in this communist revolution is the flag and the national anthem, Jeff. And you know what, Jeff? We were brought up similar. I think we had similar type parents. You know, my mother told me if there's 100 people in the room and there's 99 of them doing something bad, and you're the only one to stand up for what is right, you're supposed to do that. These SOBs on the left, to use that term, they took down an Army Ranger in 24 hours, Jeff. This is really late in the game. And you know what? The Patriots Stadium was full on Sunday. We've got a lot of work to do, and I stand with you, my brother from a different mother. I'm not watching any more NFL. And you know what, Jeff? The league is basically grotesque. Between the way they look, the hair, the tattoos, the behavior, and what they stand for, to be honest with you, Jeff, I've phased them out of my life for a few years now. But God bless you, my good man.
Thank you, Tom. And look, you know, it's amazing. That's exactly what my grandparents and my parents taught me. That exact same analogy. They always told me this. There's a room of 100 people, and 99 people are doing the wrong thing. You do the right thing. You always do the right thing, even if it makes you the most unpopular person in the room. That's what Villanueva did. And frankly, I salute him. Janine in North Reading, you're up next. Go ahead, Janine.
Hey, Jeff.
Hi.
Thanks for taking my call. Your show's just getting hotter and hotter all the time.
Oh, thank you, Janine.
What a time in history. But anyway, I'm calling because I just can't follow the logic, literally. Like, it makes me insane. So a lone knee taker is exercising his constitutional right, but a lone person standing for the national anthem is not being a team player?
Bingo. That's liberal. I mean, seriously, Janine, that's liberal logic for you. I'm telling you, that's liberal logic for you.
Oh my gosh, it hurts your brain.
Well, Janine, look, when you understand this, you'll understand everything. Anti-American, good. Pro-American, bad.
Gotcha.
That's what it really is. And then they just twist themselves into pretzels to try to justify that.
It appears that way.
Janine, spot on. Thank you for that call. Frank in Brookline. Go ahead, Frank.
Hi, Jeff. You know, we don't have to summons the Black Caucus because they're out with Maxine Waters, and they're reading the Popeye menu. So we don't have to bother them. But we can probably get some people that can read and write in that Congress and just pass a law that, it's public domain. Anybody caught disrespecting it will, and you list it down, kneeling, standing on one ear, pull-ups with the left leg, whatever the hell the thing is. You just say, if you do this and against our laws, you're immediately thrown out of the place with a $50 fine. 3 times in a row, you're banned for life. And that includes the participants, and that includes the sports participants.
Let me ask all of you this. Should it be banned? Should it be banned? We'll have that discussion next.
The voice of Boston is you. 680 WRKO Boston, 93.7 WEEI HD2 Lawrence, Boston. It's 2 o'clock.